Are we ready?
Is it contagious still?
The
Even with the
purpose
dead
of
body?
wearing a mask is a lot of bus stops and there's a lot of big trees. Oh, but there is also a market there that has a star in front of it. Oh, okay. So Star Supermarket, that's in Moilili. Okay, there's a bus stop there. That's under a big tree. And lo and behold, yes, their house is under some mango trees. So you have to do some detection now. Joe, where is this market you're talking about?
It's close to a gas station, I believe.
Oh, yes, yes.
O'clock.
Okay, Chief Clerk, roll call.
Senator Aritas,
Please
Senator
excuse.
Christian, Senator Figueroa,
Yes.
Senator Colan,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper,
Remain.
Senator Conman,
Yes.
Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Nat, Senator Balik,
Yes.
Senator Berman, Senator Romalo,
Remain.
Senator Uruzamal,
Yay.
Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simona.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, 13 members are present.
we do have a quorum to transact business. Reading of the journal for Leader Herbert.
Speaker, and good morning to you again and all members, staff. Move to dispense of the journal.
Second. Has been moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next item is item 5, Presidential Communications. We are in receipt of one, and it's numbered 11-488.
Assign that, Chief Clerk. Next item.
FSM Supreme Court Communications, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Member Communications, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 8, Departmental Communications, none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Item 9.
For item 9, Agency or Governmental Authority Communications, we have one, and it's numbered 11-72.
Okay. Sign that. Next item.
Item 10, State Communications, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Item 11, State Supreme Court Communications, none also. Item 12, Municipal or Town Communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 13, Foreign Government Communications, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. We are now on our order of the day. Item 14, standing committee reports. Do we have any report? Chief Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, for item 14, Standing Committee Reports, we have an awaiting list, and it's numbered 11-48 for Standing Committee Reports awaiting the 24 hours requirement.
Short recess, certificate of the chair. Go back. Congress is back in session. There is your waiting list. Take a look at it. Okay. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item 15, special committee reports, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next item.
For item 16, assignment of measures and communications, kindly refer to referral sheet number 21-130.
Okay, members, especially Chairman, review that for your planning purposes. Next item.
Item 17, unfinished business, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. We're now on item 18. That's bill calendar. First bill.
There are currently no bills at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Berman, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, members, and all of those that are observing our session this morning. Mr. Speaker, would like to make a motion to reconsider CB number 21-04. So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress reconsider its action on CP number 21-04. Okay, that's not subject to debate. It will still require the vote of at least 3/4 of the delegations. Chairman Romulo will cast a vote for Jupe. Okay, Chief Clerk, roll call. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Delegation. So I go back. Congress is back in session. I stand corrected. This is first reading, the action that was that's to be reconsidered. So the vote will be by members. Chief Clerk, call the roll.
For reconsideration of CB number 21-04, Senator Ardos, Senator Christian, Senator Figuer,
No.
Senator Golan, Senator Golan, Floor Leader Harper,
Hoy.
Senator Gunman, Senator Gunman, Vice Speaker Moses,
Aye.
Senator Neth, Senator Balik,
Yes.
Senator Berman,
Amen.
Senator Romulo,
No.
Senator Uruzamal,
My vote is no.
Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simona,
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, among the 13 members that are present, 10 members voted for, 3 against the said bill.
Okay, the motion for reconsideration is adopted by Congress. CP number 21-04 is now placed on the bill calendar for first reading action. Chief Clerk, read the title.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Up under the bill calendar now is CB number 21-04 for first reading. CB number 21-04 is a bill for an act to award an 8% increase in the annual salary for all full-time employees of the Federated States of Micronesia's National Government Public Service System who have successfully completed their initial probationary period and for other purposes.
Okay,
Motion for passage
Chairman.
on first. Motion on passage on first reading. So move.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 21-04. Discussion. Any discussion?
Here,
Speaker. For Leader Harbor,
short recess, please.
short recess subject to call of the chair.
On the, because we're on the CB number 21 dash state on record that I feel personally that this is long overdue. Unfortunately, the timing is before election, and many people will interpret the action as associated with the upcoming election. However, this bill, as you could tell by the numbering, is a little bit, probably almost a year old. And we've been working on it. And this is not the first bill. We've had several bills throughout the years that I've been a member of Congress to try and address the issue of pay within the national employees. And then a lot of issues come up that state, well, it's unfair for the state, it's unfair for the private sector. And we've done analysis on our public service system pays and what we can do to increase or at least find some relief for the employees that we employ here at the national government. Now, the states have been returning or have been compiling unallocated funds from the compact sector grants, mainly in health and education. And I've said it before, now we've used those, we've had some states appropriate the unallocated funds to use it for their efforts to try and deal with the pandemic that we have currently have issues with. However, you know, the states refuse to increase the salaries of their employees. However, I believe that if we can address the issues we have here, the state will feel more comfortable in addressing the employment issues that they have at the state level. Now, you know, it's very painful to see the purchasing power people have nowadays. In 1989, I gained my first job at a company that used to import Toyotas. And these were brand new Toyota pickups and sedans. And I can tell you, as a matter of fact, that most of the purchases of those brand new vehicles were principals, teachers, nurses. And now, with the purchasing power that has been reduced with them, they're struggling to buy the used Japanese vehicles. I would at least like to see them not struggle to purchase a family vehicle, even if it's Japanese made, Japanese used vehicles. So I think this is long overdue. I'm committed to vote yes on the bill as it currently is. And if on second reading, Chairman Romulo comes in with a step increase proposal, I will support that too. And that's very painful because it's not only that company that I work for. There was another one, I believe it was Intant. They imported Mitsubishi vehicles, and also those vehicles were brand new. And many national government employees and state employees could afford to get those vehicles. So I'm just wanting us to find it reasonable to provide some relief for employees, and then hopefully, and I pray that the state will follow suit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Vice Speaker Moses. Yes, the inflation is outpacing our income. Okay, Romulo, Chairman Romulo, we are discussing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I wish to state on the record, most especially my vote against the 8%. And don't get me wrong, I'm totally and I'm 100% support the salary increase. But the reason behind my vote against the 8% was because I thought we would help the entry level. And with the 8% across the board would not help the entry level employees. But the most highest pay level in the public service system will get the most increase. So that was the reason why I voted against, but willing to work together to make some amendments and adjustments to the increase, or to at least help the entry level. As you recall my statement yesterday, I calculated myself with the entry level, with the 8%, they will only get $14. Whereas the highest pay level in the public service system, the pay level 42, will get $56 to $57. So that's a big gap. And that's the reason why I wasn't supporting this 8%, but it doesn't mean I did not support the salary increase. After the first attempt of this salary increase by Chairman Perman, after it was defeated, I introduced another bill. And it was also defeated, and I defer it after reconsideration. Is similar in nature in increasing the salary of our national government employees. Yes, we have justification and statement from other colleagues who's also, their concern was the state employees. And my response to them then is that maybe by increasing the entry level salaries for our national employees will put pressure on the state leadership to find a ways to increase also their entry level or the state employees. Let's worry about the national government and also with the state level, the state employees. So again, I just thought I stated on record the reason behind my vote against the 8%. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Romulo. Floor leader Robert, before I give it to Chairman Perman.
Speaker, I don't know. Maybe I should yell it to Perman because I intend to move to defer the bill to Thursday.
Okay, well, quiet and.
Go ahead.
Okay, I move that we defer the bill to Thursday bill calendar.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that CP number 21-04 be deferred to Thursday's bill calendar. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, motion carried. CP number 21-04 is deferred to this Thursday's bill calendar. Okay. Next bill, Chipper.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
There are no more resolutions, bills, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker.
State your point. State your point, Chairman Ursimo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. With all due respect to all of you and my good Vice Speaker, I wish to perhaps maybe it's restating, but I'd like to share what I have found in the state of YAP. And believe me, we have tried to work with our, especially our state legislature, to see if they can accommodate increasing the salaries of our state employees. We have worked with them, and finally, recently we were able to get the legislature to approve YAP state government enroll in My Care. Now they're working on trying to implement that. With regard to salary increase, we have indicated to them that we have been very vocal in trying to delay the implementation of a salary adjustment for our national employees. All because we see the disparity between an entry level pay level for state versus national government. I recall when I joined Congress, I had an uncle who was a teacher and had been a teacher for a long time. And even when we talk salaries, I couldn't help but think about him because he had been working for 30 years and only making like $100 $204 or $210 biweekly gross. So the issue raised by Vice Speaker as to the state getting the courage to increase salaries of their employees, it's easier said than done. In the case of Ponape, as many of us know, they have the ability to raise revenue, local revenue, that YAP and Kosrai and maybe even Chuk cannot match. They have all kinds of businesses going, cars coming in like nobody's business. And the seat of the government there contribute a lot to the businesses in Ponape. So for Ponape state government, it's easier for them to increase their salary than the salaries of the employees. It has become very, very difficult for YAP to increase the state salary, the salaries for the employees. We pay, you pay. When you visit the hospital and is admitted into the ward, you pay $60 a night for spending, for being admitted in the hospital. Even when you die, your relative will pay $80 a night for your remains in the morgue. When you go on the H1 to go from Yap to Setawal in cabin, one way with meals, that's over $200. And one turnaround trip will cost you easily about $800. So the squeeze on the employees and on the people in Yap is very much, it's so much that it's very, very difficult. And including the state government, operating the field trip vessel is very, very expensive. But they need to fund it to provide medical and educational services to the outer islands. So this is where YAP is coming from. It's very, very difficult. I know there are areas, and we have tried to work with our colleagues in the legislature to increase taxes on some vehicle registrations and other things that the people can pay, and it goes into the government, it goes into their salaries for those working. So it's not very easy for here in YAP to raise the salary unless they increase the tax to a point where nobody will be able to pay the taxes. So this is where my difficulty is coming from. It's not because I don't like to increase salaries for our employees. As a matter of fact, I even like to increase salaries for members of Congress, for me, before I own. So
That's good news. Good news. I'm going to follow through on that one.
And, you know, I don't know, I trust all of you, and I hope you would give me your trust. That when I say things, I mean them. I'm not like Donald Trump. I'm not like any of these politicians where they speak from one side of their mouth and do different things from the other side. No. I try to...
Amen, Joe. Amen.
Are you finished your privilege, Chairman Rushmal? Something's wrong with our system. Sometimes
Mr. Speaker.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out if Chairman Rushmal is done. Are you finished, Chairman Rushmal?
It's okay. I can hear.
Okay, it's yielding to you, Senator Christian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just had a nice bowl of ramen. I'm ready to go until 3 o'clock today. But, you know, the issue here the increase of salary by percentage as offered by Senator Berman is not incompatible with the improvement on the pay scale system that is under Romulo's bill. The increase of percentage overall can still go, and Romulo can still offer is cancellation of the lower levels of the current pay scale. And I'm prepared to support both. But what I would like to recommend on the percentage scale is that those people who are receiving from, let's say, 15,000 and up only get 4%, and those who are receiving below 15 get the 8% or whatever the spread needs to be to accommodate our two things. One, the closing of the gap between the slavery level and those who are already enjoying a higher benefit for their work. For Romulo's bill, which is still alive, for Romulo's bill, which we were looking at, was an amendment to the pay structure, the public service system pay structure, and had nothing to do with increases across the board, but it did attempt to close the gap between the lower paid employees and the higher paid employees by eliminating many of the small entry levels. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that a 2-day reprieve on the bill by Senator Perman would be something we should take a look at, and take 2 days to look at those interests by Rusmal, Romulo, Pete Christian, Senator Balik, what are you eating, Balik?
Okay, you're done. Another question?
I was interrupted by Balik eating something.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I'm done. I think we need to
I'm not eating.
go carefully on this.
Okay, I'll give this time to Chairman Berman. You have the honor.
Well, I believe we already differ action on it, huh? No? I
No.
think,
Yes,
Floor
already
leader made a
differ.
motion,
Thursday.
and I seconded.
Okay, so if there's nothing further from you, Chairman, I was giving you the
No,
honor.
I have, Mr. Speaker, if you allow me.
It's a privilege. Yes, you recognize on your point of
Yeah,
privilege. Yeah.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I do have a bill that I would like to withdraw and place.
Wait, let's just vote on the motion first, then we can.
Okay.
Okay, if there's, let's vote on the motion. There's a motion to defer. Short recess subject to call of the chair.
Only way I could
Congress is back in session. We're still on the bill calendar, Chairman Berman.
Speaker, I'm decided not to withdraw now. I'm gonna have to talk to members first before I withdraw. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing me.
Okay, we're still on the bill calendar. Any other bill? If none, there's an objection. We'll go down to the next item, resolution calendar. Chief Burke, first resolution.
The first resolution under resolution calendar is CR numbered 11-232 for adoption. CR numbered 11-232 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $1 million from the United Nations Office for the South to South Cooperation Corporation with direct financial support from the Government of India to support the project entitled Strengthening FSM's Gender Missionary, including all the terms and conditions of the grant.
Point of
Okay.
privilege, Speaker.
State your point, Floor Leader.
Just a minor procedural question. Why is it that the resolution on Fabian is way down the list, but it was first appeared on our agenda during the previous days? I thought it would appear first, and then those that just came up will follow.
Short recess, subject to call on the chair. Whichever comes. Let's move forward now. Floor Leader, I think. So
Right.
let's go. Congress is back in session. Okay, we're now on resolution number 21-80. Short recess. Subject to call of the chair.
Hi, yesterday.
Now I was looking at. So let's go back. Congress is back in session. There is that resolution 21-232. Any motion for adoption?
So move.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
Been and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-232. Discussion. Any discussion on this? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let us vote. Those in favor of adoption of resolution number 21-232, say aye. Opposed,
Aye.
nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 21 232 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Next resolution under the resolution calendar is CR number 21-236 for adoption. This was deferred from Friday's session to today's session. CR number 21-236 is a resolution to approve and accept a $5,276,484 grant from the United Nations Development Program, or UNDP, to fund the Micronesia Public Sector Buildings Energy Efficiency, or the MPSPEE project, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Okay. Chairman, Berman? I mean,
So move for its adoption.
it's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution 21-236. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's objection.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Senator Christian, you want to discuss the resolution?
yes, basically it's one of those times where I show my ignorance. There is a Micronesia Public Sector Buildings Energy Efficiency project that is in existence now, for which this grant aims to support, or this grant aims to begin this project?
Well, who wants to answer that? Third read is subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still discussing CR number 21-236. Any further discussion? If none, there's no objection.
Question.
Discussion closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of adoption of resolution number 21-236, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution 21-236 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution is CR number 21-238 for adoption. This is attached to Standing Committee Report number 21-79. CR number 21-238 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant from the United States Department of Health and Human Services, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the amount of $821,849 to fund and support the Communicable Disease Prevention and Control Project of all the FSM's Department of Health and Social Affairs, including all the terms and conditions of the grant.
Chairman Permit.
So moved.
Short recess subject to call to Chief. Congress is back in session. For Leader Arbor, make the motion for passage, adoption.
So move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded that resolution, Congress adopt resolution number 21-238. Discussion? Any discussion on?
Question.
Questions being called for? If there is no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of adoption of resolution number 21-238, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution 21-238 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution is CR number 21-242 for adoption. CR number 21-242 is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Vebian Sita Nemea to serve as a member of the Telecommunications Regulation Authority or the Authority of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Okay, Chairman Coonan.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-242. Discussion? Any discussion? If none,
Sorry,
Question.
Mr. Speaker.
short recess subject to call of the chair.
Let's
Okay.
vote.
Let's go back. Congress is back in session. We're still discussing the resolution 21-242. If there is no further discussion and if there is no objection, discussion is closed. So we will vote by ballot. Yes, Chairman, what?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. My vote will be no, based on that communication from the Christ State Legislature asking why Nogoshians are being nominated to boards.
Good reason, good reason.
Uh, okay, let's continue. If there is no, the vote will be by secret ballot, at least.
Can you vote yes? Because currently you
My
don't have.
vote will be no, based on the fact that John Saul was a Pohnpeian, and I think he should be replaced by a Pohnpeian.
Okay, you can now state yours. Okay, let's vote. Short recess, subject to call of the chair.
Mr. Speaker,
Let's go back. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, announce the result.
yes, Mr. Speaker, among the 12 members that voted, 8 members voted for, 4 against, 2 absent.
Okay, for that reason, resolution number 21-244, 242, as does not pass Congress. It's not adopted. So the nomination of Mr. Nimea is rejected by Congress. Okay,
Point
next
of
resolution.
information, Mr. Speaker.
State your point, Chairman.
What was the vote?
It's 8 for, 4 against.
That's only 12, but there are 13 of us.
Chairman, his vote is
Altogether,
Further is subject to.
Me confused.
So let's go back. Congress is back in session. The resolution is not adopted. The nomination is defeated. Okay. Next resolution.
there are no more resolutions, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
Leader Arbor.
Speaker.
sorry, Speaker.
Further is subject to publication.
Motion to
Two 23 and 244. Okay. Let's go back. Congress is back in session. Floor leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If proper, I move to withdraw resolutions number 21-244 and resolution number 21-223. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that resolutions 21-223 and 21-244 be withdrawn and from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Motion carried. Those resolutions 223 and 244 are withdrawn and placed on the resolution calendar for action. First resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, the first resolution now under the resolution calendar is CR numbered 11-244 for adoption. CR numbered 11-244 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $40,000 from the United Nations Development Program to fund the Legislative Improvement Program for the budget period from October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
So move.
Second. Been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-244. Discussion. Any discussion?
Speaker,
Who's that?
thank you very,
Okay, yes, Vice Chairman Palik, you have the floor.
yes, thank you. No, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is this grant, can it be used to assist us in our effort to take over the responsibility on the procurement and accounting of our assets?
Okay, Vice Speaker
Point of
Moses.
privilege, Mr. Speaker.
How about? Yes, state your point, Floor Leader.
Did we make a motion to adopt?
Yes,
I did.
there was a
You
motion.
did?
Seconded. Okay,
Mr. Speaker.
I second that.
Vice Speaker Moses, care to assist our colleague?
Yeah.
Right?
Mr. Speaker, I believe we've already passed a law that Congress will take over its own procurement for our IT area. So if that helps with the question.
Yeah. We now have our own statutory authority. This grant will be for us to actually acquire certain IT equipment needed for Congress. Okay, any further discussion?
Question.
If not, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of adoption of resolution 21-244, say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution number 21-244 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar is CR numbered 11-223 for adoption. CR numbered 11-223 is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Carlson D. Abbas to serve as a member of the FSM Telecommunication Corporation representing the national government.
Okay,
Mr. Speaker.
Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to defer action on the said resolution to Thursday's calendar.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that said resolution be deferred to Thursday session. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 21-223 is deferred to Thursday's session. Next resolution,
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
state of point, Vice Speaker Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on a point of privilege to state a concern of mine while we're on resolution calendar. Earlier today, we had two reports, committee reports placed on the calendar, but then we've already let it go because it's on our 24-hour waiting period. But I want to address the types of grants that we receive. And one is from the UNDP, 5 million, in the amount of 5, which is a very substantial amount. And then the other one is a $12 million grant that will be used for the improvement of wastewater and water services on the island of Buena and Chuk. Now, I just wanted to state there was an issue raised by Vice Chairman Christian on the $5 million one from UNDP. Like, where did this project come from? Has it been What is it going to do? What is it? And the problem I have with this type of a grant, which will be helpful, I'm sure, but then all four states have a struggle with the current power systems. We don't have what they would call rule of thumb for the generating capacity of electricity for our states. And I say that because I had an issue with a former employer that used to state that Chuk is now on 24-hour power. And I would say, no, only the island of Buena is on 24-hour power. And this is going to address some efficiencies, which is good. But I would rather see grants that come in that we request that would fulfill or improve our generating capacity so that everybody can enjoy the services from our electric companies. And the second one is the 12 million for Chuk, which I appreciate greatly. These are the types of grants that we need to improve our infrastructure, I think would be a basic foundation for economic development here in the FSM. Because it's the way we are requesting grants and funding for our infrastructure that concerns me a little bit, especially here in Pohnpei. In Pohnpei, we have approximately 52 miles of circumferential road going around the island. And now we have gotten commitments from donor partners for a Pave the Nation program that would probably repave a good portion of the circumferential road. Now, I feel that grants like these that would implement and improvements and extensions of wastewater and water systems around the island should go first. Because if we pave the nation and Pohnpei gets its circumferential road all maintained and repaved all around the island, we still don't have wastewater treatment services and water services around the island. And these projects, which are very much needed around the island, will tear up this whole new Pave the Nation program. So, I mean, it's just the order and the kinds of grants that we get that concerns me a little bit. And so that's what I just wanted to raise on my point of privilege. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Vice Speaker Moses. It's called planning. We have to plan these things out. Obviously, we didn't do that with all this grant funding we're getting from our donor partners. But hopefully, we can learn from this in the process. It's a long process, ongoing process. I hope the executive branch can learn to put plans before they request for grants. Any other point of privilege? Let's go down to the next item. Item 20.
Speaker.
Yes, for Leader Herbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With all due respect to all honorable members, I move that we stand in recess until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Chuk time.
Second.
Okay, there is a motion to stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning, Chuk time. Those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning at Chuk time.
So when can